Always the bridesmaid, never the bride when it comes to mainline Super Mario games, it's all changed for the Mushroom Kingdom's Resident Monarch next month when Princess Peach Showtime comes to the Nintendo Switch on March 22nd. Not since Super Princess Peach for the Nintendo DS back in 2005 has she been the true star of the show, and Nintendo has now taken this to heart by placing her center stage, literally, for a different type of action platformer based around outfits complete with unique abilities. For my recent hour-long preview, this Princess Peach spin-off feels like charming fun so far, sure, but its breezily basic gameplay won't make it a complete showstopper for many. For those unaware, Princess Peach Showtime sees the rosy-cheeked icon take a little time off from being kidnapped and rescued with a cheeky visit to the Sparkle Theatre. Unfortunately for her, however, the upcoming performance takes a bad turn when a mysterious masked villain invades and takes over the premises, forcing Peach and her wardrobe of costumes to save the local population of cutesy feats. This is accomplished by acting in a series of plays, each riffing on a certain theme and taking on a different role in each. As far as setups go, I was instantly hooked and couldn't wait to see what each performance had in store for me. The first one I played was themed after the Wild West, where I was offered the chance to ride a horse to give chase, crack my whip, and lasso enemies before lobbing them into one another in order to save the town. All these events play out on a literal stage, with each level in Princess Peach Showtime featuring its own designs themed in the style of a play. Backgrounds shift and adjust as you move from screen to screen, and animals are presented as string-controlled marionettes. There are even certain sections that see you dip below the floorboards. All of these elements coalesce in a way that constantly prove to me just how much Nintendo is committed to the bit of Peach's adventure being a real-life theatre performance rather than some half-baked attempt at the concept. Each level begins with Peach in her normal form, equipped with her basic power to sparkle things and shape aspects of the stage's scenery, which often results in a fountain of coins spewing out. I wasn't told what the coins could ultimately be spent on during my demo, but this still didn't stop me from spreading joy throughout all the sites I came across. Unlike most Kirby games where you can swap and change abilities willy-nilly, Princess Peach Showtime is a lot more rigid in its approach. You're only ever able to suit up in the specific form intended for that particular play. Does this make each level feel telegraphed? Yes, but it also lets Nintendo explore each's costume's potential in cool ways, albeit in a fairly restrained setting. The aforementioned Wild West level, for instance, has a particular moment which sees Peach transform into a cowgirl, at which point her sparkle ability morphs into the whip of a lasso. It works perfectly fine for lashing at enemies from afar, true, but it truly comes to life when you use it to grab barrels hurtling your way to fling them back to wherever they came from. Other outfits like Swordfeater Peach are less creative in their approach, simply having you slash away at hordes of enemies, although admittedly this is the first one I was pushed towards. My favourite of the 4 outfits I got to try was Ninja Peach. It's here where Princess Peach Showtime dabbles with some semblance of stealth, letting Peach brush up against the stage scenery to sneak past enemies, or stay below in shallow pools of water to sneak up on enemies and avoid searchlights. One small detail that really made me chuckle came from Ninja Peach hiding in grass. Rather than simply crouch down amid standees shaped like grass, Peach pulls out 2 grass props of her own to further obscure her location. It was just a small aspect I noticed, but is indicative of that trademark attention to detail and Nintendo magic we've come to expect from first-party titles like this. The main concern I had about Princess Peach Showtime coming away from my 1-hour hands-on preview is that it all just feels very prescribed. From the way each level is designed to be relatively contained and small, and the incredibly simple control scheme, to how there really is no flexibility in terms of choosing what outfits Peach can wear and when. This is clearly a 2D action platformer hoping to charm and delight more so than it wants to innovate or push any genre boundaries. This makes it light, breezy fun, accessible to audiences of all ages, but probably not the total coming out party a character like Princess Peach is deserving of. One last drawback is the performance of my demo build. Played on a big screen, there were lots of framerate hitching in a game supposedly targeting a steady 30 FPS. Alongside this, the load times when entering each new level felt unusually long for a game with as itemized approach to its structure as this. Super Mario Bros. Wonder never had you waiting up to 30 seconds when entering each new level, so it's a tad odd that this is very much the case here. Princess Peach Showtime is one of the few first-party Nintendo Switch games to run on Unreal Engine 4, true, but no such issues were present in last year's brilliant Pikmin 4. I hope these issues are ironed out in time for the full release in March, but neither are enough to completely break the experience. If not, it's probably more so a sign of the hardware's increased age. That said, there's still so many unannounced outfits Nintendo Nintendo is understandably keeping a surprise, and I'm eager to see whether or not any of the 4 outfits I did try, Cowgirl, Ninja, Patisserie, and Sword Fighter, will return in later levels to be fully capitalized on, or if each really is more of a one and done type deal. Each floor of the Sparker Theatre will be punctuated by a boss fight once you complete all the available levels too, and I'm sure these are bound to be just as charming and cinematic as the various set piece moments featured within each play. So yes, while Princess Peach Showtime probably won't end up being the show-stopping performance I hoped, the stage is still set for her to break a leg. So there you have it guys for our preview thoughts on Princess Peach Showtime. After an hour's hands-on time, what do you think? Are you still excited for this game? Be sure to let me know in the comment section below. We're sure to be having a full review for Princess Peach Showtime coming at the end of next month, just prior to release, so do look out for that. But if you enjoyed this video and want to see more, be sure to leave this video a like and consider subscribing to the Mirror Gaming YouTube channel to stay up to date with even more videos like this. Until next time, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.